outnumbered over time. Oh, gee, baby. And I was just typing one of our topics. Our first topic is going to be your book, though, Juan Williams.
Oh, great.
Tell us about We the People.
Well, imagine if the Founding Fathers came back. They'd be rock stars. Everybody would want to know, what do you think? What about America today, Founding Fathers? Alexander Hamilton's got a hit show on Broadway. He's a star, right? But I think if they came back, they'd also be very curious about how we live. You know, who created America in the 21st century? And the book is the answer to that. You know, like, why is it that we have so many immigrants in the country? Kennedy and I were just having a discussion about income inequality, about Milton Friedman. He's one of the stars in this book. But also George Meany as one of the fathers of the union movement. And what happened to unions in this country? Where are they today? But, you know, given that I'm sitting here on Outnumbered Set, I think one of the biggest stories in that book has to do with women. Because I think if the Founding Fathers came back, they would say, wow, women in positions of authority, control, educated. You know, we had no women signing the Declaration of Independence, no women at the Constitutional Convention. I mean, and a black woman, oh my God, they would freak out. So for them, it would be like, and you've got a woman.
On so many levels. Yeah.
You've got a woman attorney general, and you've got a woman who's now the leading candidate on the Democratic side for president. They'd be like, this is very curious.
Well, the best part of what you just said is that you envision our Founding Fathers watching Outnumbered.
Yes, absolutely. Let me say, they're not crazy. They're just rock stars. They would come back and say, turn it on.
So, and I also heard, not to stir up anything, but I also heard you and Kennedy disagreeing on some points of the book.
Well, we were talking about Milton Friedman.
Yeah, we were talking about,
and Milton Friedman, the conservative economist. And Milton Friedman's theory is, you know, like, we shouldn't even have national parks. So Kennedy, in reading this chapter, thought that I was antagonistic toward him, and I hope that doesn't come across in the book. But in fact, in my own thinking, I think because Milton Friedman said the corporation's only job is to make money for the shareholders, that it has hurt workers, and it has hurt customers in some cases.
Well, Milton Friedman said many, many things, and it would be unfair to take one of the minor statements that he made and paint his entire economic philosophy with that. I guess as a libertarian, I'm so used to reading love letters to Friedman and von Mises and even Murray Rothbard, although there were some disagreements among them, among Austrian and Chicago school economists, that I actually thought you painted a very fair picture of Friedman, because you talked about a lot of economists on the left who were deeply influenced by him and his influence on the political economy.
I think
and it is a great book. I think that's just one of many chapters in your book, including the Ronald Reagan chapter.
The idea that it gets you talking and thinking is really, for me, that's terrific. That was my goal, is to give you engaging material.
We the People on sale now?
Absolutely.
And if people buy it and they send it to you here at Fox, you'll autograph it?
I'll give it to you, Harrison. You can sign it for them. I'll sign it. Of course
Juan Williams, spelled Harr. I want to go to the live chat, because the last of our TV version of a segment was on nicknames for political candidates. And Dangerous Donald was one that Debbie Wasserman Schultz, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She came up with that.
And Elizabeth Warren also used it.
She didn't come up with it? Oh, okay. She was just repeating it, I'm being told. Okay. So Stu P says on the live chat, people smoke more when they put a skull and crossbones on the package. Because Kennedy had made the point, well, you know, some people's middle name is Danger.
Yeah, exactly. Danger is my middle name.
You know, you mean, is this like women liking bad boys?
Yes, exactly right.
Maybe.
That's exactly right.
Maybe. But anyway, so I'm just sharing some of that.
I was going to pass along a couple of compliments to Mr. Juan Williams, our one lucky guy. This viewer says, Juan is an inspiration. I think he's the coolest. Hashtag We the People.
How nice. Thank you.
And Juan Williams is one of my favorite liberals. To the bestseller list with you.
All right. I hope so. Say it from your mouth or your fingers to God.
Captain Shadrax writes, Trump only called Elizabeth Warren goofy. He must have been having a mellow moment.
Oh.
Well, he's also got to be careful not to appear to be attacking her in a way that's sexist. And I think using the term goofy makes you look at her in a way and go, oh, you know what? She's kind of goofy. Like, she's got this goofy smile on her face, and the whole story about being a Native American and getting a tenured professorship at Harvard.
So coming up in the next hour, depending on when you watch this, though, because if you watch this in the middle of the night, it's on a loop, so this wouldn't be true. But real time on the East Coast right now around 1 o'clock, North Carolina's governor is suing the DOJ over transgender bathroom law. This is what I just put on the live chat. Now the DOJ is set to respond, an announcement, live conference coming up. Let's chat this topic a little bit. You know, this law had a deadline to it in terms of when they had to respond to the Department of Justice. And so the governor of North Carolina said, here's my response. I'm suing you over it and our right to have this law if we want it.
So he's made the federal government into bullies. And he's saying you're trying to force your agenda on us.
Is he right?
No. And it's so interesting to me that Donald Trump has said he's wrong. So what you've got here, Georgia, the state of Georgia had something like this. The governor vetoed it because he was afraid of the backlash coming from corporations. Instead, in North Carolina, Governor McCrory has dug in his heels. And I think for a lot of people in the conservative base, they are delighted that he's willing to take on the federal government and make the federal government out to be overly aggressive interventionist in local affairs. But is he going to win on this? I don't see it.
Well, it's already a law, so it's not a matter of vetoing it. I mean, they would have to turn back the clock, basically, right, Kennedy?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here. I mean, I think this is one of these distraction issues. And, these are the things that the people love to get up in arms about and dig their heels. And I think it's so incredibly divisive. And, I worry about some of my transgender friends.
Sounds like you're not willing to say that you think it's a bad law.
I think it's a bad law. I mean,
Okay.
It's like, I just think, why? Why now? Is it because of Caitlyn Jenner? Like, what is it? It's the pendulum swings in odd ways.
I think it's a bad law. I think it's ridiculous. I don't think there's a problem here. I mean, I don't know what they think they're addressing here. That's a problem. I have a ton of transgender friends. I live in New York City. I think it paints the transgender community as problematic and stigmatizes them and then other people say, well, no, it'll be, grown men who are pedophiles who are going to dress as women.
They're showering in middle school locker rooms.
These are manufactured ideas. That's not happening. And if some psycho wants to put on a wig and a dress and go in and harass someone, they're going to do it anyway. So,
and that's against the law, by the way.
Right. And how are you enforcing all these laws? I mean, it's ridiculous. I think if anyone with common sense sits back and thinks about it, they're going to say, why exactly is there a need for this right now?
But it's at the state level, I guess, is where we are now in the news coverage. And with the DOJ responding to it, now you've got it flying at 37,000 feet. Now it's a big brother issue. And so whatever the law would be, I'm just curious to know, when does it go back to when does it stay with the state level? I mean, it's...
Well, no, but what the Department of Justice is saying, this is discrimination. You're violating people's civil rights.
In a federal sense.
Right. So if they said, hey, you know what, no blacks or no Hispanics or no midgets or whatever...
And they did, by the way, and this has been a process of civil rights in this country.
Right. That's the background. So
in our not so distant past.
Yes.
Exactly. All right, we'll move on. FAC wants to wish all of us, including you, even though you're a mama of Emma, who is a puppy that's still Mama Love,
That's true.
wants to wish all of us a happy belated Mother's Day weekend.
Well, you know what? Can I join in on that thought?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm always amazed at so many moms here at Fox and how they manage being a mom and talk about a demanding job. This is a demanding job. You guys are awesome.
Well, I walk my dog several times a day, Juan. It's very challenging to be the mom of a puppy.
A mom of a puppy.
She's very high maintenance. She eats organic chicken and vegetables at night. She needs a lot of love and attention.
Okay, but I will say this. I mean, for a long time, I did as much as I possibly could to learn from women I knew who were moms way before I had kids. Mm-hmm. And there's something about being a future mom that is totally sacred. And, it's like when you put yourself in a position to be around people who can positively influence you, I think that is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it's funny that you brought that up because I never wanted kids ever in my life. I always said this isn't for me. I started hanging out with Kennedy and her kids, and I said, maybe I could do this. Because you're the kind of mom that I would be. You have, like, a great relationship with your kids. It's kind of the relationship that my mom has with me, which I don't see a lot. So it's so interesting that you brought that up to me and we've had several conversations about this, and I'm sort of changing my mind, and it's because of you.
Oh, that's so
well, you might change it again if you hang out with me.
No, that's not true. You're a great mom.
So if I have, 10 kids, it's your fault. You have
and
to
this one over here has 2 under the age of 3.
Well, yeah, today's my toddler's birthday. She's 3 today.
Oh,
happy birthday, little one.
So much, King.
What a great birthday. 3 is such a sweet age.
Yeah.
What are we doing to celebrate?
Oh, we woke up this morning and there was signs and balloon, and she opened one present, and then she's at school, and I'm going to race there because parents can go for the last 15 minutes of nursery school and read the class.
I just love the expression on your face a moment ago. You looked emotional. That was sweet.
Well,
Nothing
that
gets
means
me like that.
Sandra's got to go.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for jumping on the live chat. It was very well attended today. You guys are rock stars. We'll see you tomorrow.
Aw.